Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia. It is the end of March, specifically March 28th, a little after 11. I'll get better. Just very quickly, uh, just as the end of the quarter is coming to an end, where it looks like TradeView Markets, an awesome new site, is coming soon. And I can guarantee you that everything that we put out and something says coming soon, it's going to be better than the first. That's where we're about. So look for that. That's exciting and it looks great as it is. So let's sign into TradeGATEHub. This is the first time I signed into it too. Okay, professional. We right back to the original link. Let's log in. As we come down on a Monday morning at the end of the quarter, Coach, you're right about copper. As we say before, we're going to go to the screen. I hope I'm sharing correctly. We were a little early, and we were going to be early on that trade. And I watched it, and I watched the Alcoa too. And maybe Alcoa wasn't the defining move of this copper trade. Yes, I'm well aware of Alcoa has aluminum, blah blah blah. I am, but it's a I look for the best of breeds or the big, FCX is a behemoth. It's, probably even bigger than Alcoa, if you will, but good call on the FCX. And I see a lot of the golds and some of the miners, even Newmont took a breather. So I'll get into that in a second. Sarah, I see your question about Bitcoin. I'll get into that in a second. Thanks for participating. But most importantly, before we get into execution, we have to get into the routine. As I say a million times, Monday morning is probably the most important data that I put out of the week. It's way more qualitative, and it's really just put out for everybody to build a plan. And the data that I put out Monday is data that I also put out Tuesday, Wednesday, and throughout the week. As you'll see, I post similar charts, and I want you to. I eventually want to stop posting these, because if you can look, good morning, Lewis, right here. This is, for example, market sentiment. Right here, where we stand today, where the futures are down. They're back. I think they're unchanged. I'm not even looking at the quotes right now, so don't get distracted. So, and this goes day by day. So eventually, I want it's almost like if you're a baseball player, how they look at the seams or they time a pitch. Or my father was a Hall of Fame jockey, and he had a clock inside of his head, and he knew how fast he was going to the second. So, what I'm saying is, you want to know these know these things innately. So when it comes time to execute, and as like I said, I post these on a daily basis. I want you guys to get used to this. It's very important. That's why getting into the routine is more important than execution. I'll say one last analogy. I say it all the time. It never gets old. Athletes, whether it be football or basketball, or not basketball, really football, they practice 6, 7, 8 hours a day, 5 days to 40 hours a week for an hour game. So the majority of it is preparation. It doesn't come naturally, especially with trading, when there's not only a lot of sharp individuals. Tim and myself and the rest of the crew in here are pretty sharp there, but you're dealing with algos and you deal with mathematicians. So it makes it even a little bit harder, but more rewarding when you get to a certain level, or you want to call it a professional, if you will. It's arguable a professional. So I'll stop pontificating. Okay. Good morning. That's my sign in. By the way, if anybody doesn't want to catch all the coaches, something happened. If everybody doesn't, something got filled. A Tesla put. If everybody doesn't want to continue looking on with all coaches winners, you can always go into my stock room. That basically condense all my. It's all identical. The stocks in the main room. So, like I said, if the coach is out riding a couple of good winners and I'm cold, stick to the main room. All right. I don't mean to be facetious about that. Sometimes, I came on a desk with, I probably sat on the desk with, I don't know how many traders, Tim being one of them. And you know what I mean? It's a team effort. And if one guy's cold, nobody's going to be shy about saying it. So let's get into the thing, and I'll stop being redundant. Okay. This is our macro market view. And by the way, a lot of moves have been a lot of moves precipitously up right now as we speak in the market. So maybe at the end of the quarter here, this being a Monday morning and things are somewhat settling, and Lewis even pointed out they're rotating properly, maybe it's time to go over the data, go over a video. It's not, no, it's always, no, not harder, buddy. It's, Jesus Christ. When they start saying they started calling me a master trader. What I saw, what I mean? That's the end of it. Whatever, it's a marathon, coach. So listen, this is the macro view of the market. It's been pretty precise. And I'm not splitting the atom here. I would just say 9 or 8 out of 10 fund guys would agree on what the chart says, at least fundamentally. So go over the macro plan. This being, like I said, the end of the quarter, a lot like Coach says, on a Friday, you're never really going to make, your whole month. Maybe at the end of this month here, because the move, the end of the quarter, there's a lot of money on the sidelines. At the first thing I'm ever going to, if anything you take from this video is I'm very bullish, regardless of the move. Because of one thing that I know, a lot of hedge funds are short and a lot of the wise guys are long. And listen, that price action, as Helene says, and we are lucky to have her on here a couple of times. It'd be great if we could have her on a third. I talked to Helene today, or corresponded with her this morning. You look on my Twitter feed, and listen. You know what charts are? These are what charts are. What charts do is. No, my dad's a legend. Charts are telling you not what a chart has done. Charts are really good. Charts aren't indicative of the future. Charts are really basically to show you what they've done. So, go with the price action and the sentiment. I'm getting called in a tangent. I think Coach is being a little jokey or facetious with me. I'm trying to come back with a clever comeback, but I'm getting distracted. So I have to stick back to this. Okay. Future sentiment. If anything that we have learned, it's that overbought can stay overbought more. And with Square and things like that, although they bounced, or stocks like whatever it may be, even Twitter, stocks can stay oversold longer than the RSI implicates. And that's why, stocks make the move they do on the upside. It's just a matter of time, but it's averaging down is not the way to go. Fear and greed. Okay, so we made a good move in the market. There's still a little fear out there, but I even wasn't fearful that down here. So here we are there. That's up for your interpretation. Goldman indicator, they got a lot of cash. And from what I believe, I don't think they're looking to back up the truck and commodities at this point. The way I look at it going forward is there's a tremendous amount of cash on the sidelines. Powell's already out, and basically it's been out a week, if you will, and everybody has disseminated the information. The moves have been made. The end of the quarter is here. Going to the war in the Ukraine, I think the worst of the news is over, barring a nuclear attack. Anything but a ceasefire or something like that. It's even evidence in crude action today will be even more bullish in the market. So I'm bullish, and I have been to a degree. I got tripped up a little bit, but you know what I mean? I always played the best breeds, as I told everybody there, and that's what I should be doing. But when you stick to the best ones, they don't have that much more pressure as the other ones. This is what I'm talking about. Hedge fund equity exposure. They're basically short. You even go back to any time that their hedge funds are short right here, they flip. They have to go long. And by the way, I don't think I'm alone here, and I shouldn't be, because it's a fact. When the VIX is below 20 and hedge fund, a lot of these hedge fund managers are going to get fired for sitting in cash. So when the VIX is below 20 and there's less volatility, that leaves the go ahead for money managers to put more money at work, because there's less volatility. So they shouldn't be as timid to put money to work. So as the VIX plummets here, and it is, although it was halted twice today, that's why you should be on a TradeGATEHub futures platform. The VIX is very active today, always as a hedge. And listen, you could be on any platform. It just happens to be ours as well. You have to sign up for it and get into it, because it's a financial instrument that trades 24 hours these days, that if you don't have it, you're at a loss. How could you wake up in the morning knowing that you're losing in certain area, losing an edge right before that? So if you don't have access and don't know how to trade the VIX or fixed futures more than ever, I'm telling you right now, you're at a disadvantage. And I don't know how you can look at your keyboard and sign on to any account when you already know that you're even a greater disadvantage that you should. And I'm serious. So we'll move on. Credit default swaps. This is driving the market right here. This to me looks bearish. This looks to me like an inverse head and shoulders. Gamma exposure. They took a bunch off to that on Friday with the move in the market. Okay. Bank of America positioning, hedge fund gold exposure, self-explanatory, drawdown risk levels. Okay, now the market's at a little bit of risk of pulling back, as opposed to the drawdown in the green, meaning we were so oversold that we were to do, there was very little risk of even going lower. So it's just an indicator. It only goes back. It doesn't even go, well, actually it does go back for longer, but drawdown risk levels is one of the minor sentiment indicators that you should be looking at. Sector sentiment. Something's got to cool off. Bitcoin's weekend rally erases the losses for the year. There you go. Fertilizer prices. Europe, for those who followed. Yes. Coach, taking a profit here. So something must be going on. Nice trade. I know the market's going down, or it should be, as the coach says that. I don't want to look, but I got something got filled. Nice trade, coach. Okay, going back here. Okay. I have all your questions and everybody. Earnings for the week. G-Bone, G-Money, MU. XPEV actually came out with some news this morning. Look at it. Lulu, going to drive the retailers. Restoration Hardware, Chewy, Path, my play. When does Path have earnings? That's my play. I'm still in calls. iPath. I'll have to get back to that later. So, and I'll show you. I got calls, but the calls are, there it is, iPath. Wednesday after the close. Giddy up. I'm excited about that one. Path after. So I write that down after. Okay. DNA. So you have a lot of stocks here that are also big stocks that are going to cause other pin actions onto others. Upgrades and downgrades. Naturally, if I use Walter Bloomberg for something as important for upgrades and downgrades, use them for other things. Economic week ahead. We're giving a game plan. Have a plan. Write it down. You know what I mean? I just wrote down Path ends earnings Wednesday afternoon, and I have some whoever has earning, whatever has the indicators for the week. I write it down, and I formulate with a plan like that. You know what I mean? NIO, there was XBEV right there. Daily velocity scan. There's more upgrades. Crude futures fall $6 a barrel. Deals this morning. Tesla split. Apple had news. Crude was down. Lots discussed. Upgrades and Friday's actions with volume and mover and moving volume with range, good price range, volume, and good price action. Tell, Swin, MP, STNE. I made a great sale on that one this morning. Pre-market movers. Good luck, coach. What else did I say? Checkpoint. Our levels, very important. Twitter, Tim. Hold on a second. 7-figure trade in TradeGATEHub. He's long Tesla from 855. Stock's 1071 right now. Nice trade. 7-figure trade here in TradeGATEHub. It's not the only one, but it's one, we're just letting it key on some, just like as they say in Goodfellas, give me a little taste. Good stuff, coach. Okay. Please have a look at Bitcoin. Now let's look at Bitcoin now. So I want to answer Sarah's question. Bitcoin, BTC. I'll change my screen. I got it. Okay. Bitcoin. The daily on Bitcoin. Okay. Do you see this? Let me make sure I check this because this is very important. Now, if you want to trade technically on Bitcoin, it's doing the same thing that Apple did. Coach and I had a discussion how Apple was about to break down, just like Bitcoin. But then it went through the 200-day and everything like that. Bitcoin, same thing. The RSI is not even that overbought yet. It's through the 200-day, which is very important from a psychological level and empirical level. Algos love it when everything is up. It's up. It broke out. So that's what it did. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum's got a little bit way to go, but let's look at coin. Somebody told me they took a nice position in coin today. You know what? No, coin's at 200. You know what I mean? It still has, if it's going to run, it still had some juice. And I kind of like coin. Yeah, I would endorse it. I would endorse it maybe a little here, maybe below the 200 number if it rests. There's a weekly on coin. It is a laggard. Let's look at Mara. I like Mara because that's considered the best of breed. You know what I mean? Mara's got a, like a double top to a degree. Then it has 200-day resistance. It doesn't say it can't do it like Bitcoin. Bitcoin did the same thing. It had the double. And then it rested and it went through that 200 days. You can see here with volume. So you know what? Mara, absolutely. Mara could be okay. Let's look at the other ones. Mara, Riot. Okay, you know what I saw was moving okay? My Canaan again. This can, it's a China play though. SOS I sold the other day. I sold some GDS. That means the market's ripping. Coin to the moon, G-Bone. You're right, Gerard. Coin to the moon. What happened to GDS? I was just up in this thing. Going to the moon. Let me see. I believe, yeah. I wouldn't say, yeah. I like coin. It's pretty aggressive, G money. Coin to the moon. But you know what? I wouldn't short it, and I like it. So what else do we have here? Let's go to my main page. This GDS is going up and the others are going down. That's a problem. So at the moment here, nerve. So here are the other ones. Let's Riot, Mara. Mara's making a nice move. Riot's up 11%. Mara's up 8%. Why is this GDS going? I just shorted more here and I shouldn't have. When I got on the air, GDS, I'm short this thing. It was 39.50. Now it's 40.50 and it's the strongest one out there. And I'm not happy about it. The futures, GWG. By the way, those cannabis stocks, major letdown. CGC, although it is near the 200-day, but Telray, if it was ever going to make the squeeze, they gave it up. I mean, for the news it went to and what's going on go to 6 to 8, that's a letdown. Let's look at the GRWG. It gave it up. This for these stocks to pop again and then go negative and go back down 20% shows me they're dead and they need another type of catalyst if anybody's worrying about the cannabis stocks. What's going about Tesla, YOU, Dragonfly. Look at STNE. I bought this on Friday and I liked it because I thought it would pull back nicely. It had the gap and I had a lot of it. I think I had like 16,000 shares. And getting back to my today on STNE, it took advantage to get out on weakness. So I started selling my STNE. The majority of it, as you can see right here, between 1275 and 1265. Now it went down to 12. I'm glad I got out of it. What else? Tesla, still near the high. FUTO. Every one of these China stocks reversed, and I'm short the strongest one. STNE, CAN, ALLG. So coin. Okay, so coin. Let's get back to the bottom line here. The average volume is 4 million. It's traded 3 million. So it basically has more than 50% at 11:22 a.m. And it, broke out. Gee, what do you think? Where's your price target on this, Gerard? I hear you. I like it. It probably rests at the 200 whole number. Maybe dips below 200, but I would start buying it here below and above the 200. GameStop. How about this one? This have it in it. No, everybody's been quietly looking at GameStop go from double. GameStop doubled in 318 to 320 in a week. Nobody's saying anything. GameStop. LGF, you dog. Square had a nice move up. AFRM continuing to squeeze. You know what? Some of these payment processor, PayPal is unchanged, and Square is up 3%. AFRM was up huge this morning. Now it's unchanged. MU, GFS. This is the one we're looking to buy on a dip, right? G Money. This GFS. Banks, no interest. Bank of America. Everybody loved it over the weekend. Where were they? Okay. Devon, EOG. Airlines went negative. I'm sure. What about this LGF, YOU, Okta Software? Here are the futures. I got to get going here. So the futures right now are 45.33. Our levels this morning were what, Lewis? Pardon. Our exact levels. No, you got to watch Tesla if this comes in. You got to watch oil. You got to watch if the price comes in on Tesla. You got to watch Apple because they had news, didn't they? Yes, they did. So our level on the futures are where? I believe it's up, Lewis. I think there's a lot of money. Listen, Lewis, you got to listen to this. If anybody's not, if I was stranded on the desert island, hold on, and I only had one Twitter feed to listen to, this says a lot. This would be it right here. Actually, it's the private feed, which is like I pay it's $125 US. AMC, Snow. This would be it right here. Right here, this feed. This right here would be the feed of I would 90% of the early sweeper activity taking place in weekly strikes. The flow is still, this is the smart money. So let me go back. Let me give you an example. Let me go back an hour ago. Oh, you know what? This doesn't go well. It's the printer feed. So anyway, what I'm saying is that's where the smart money goes. Short utilities, it's a chance. But you know what, Lewis? There are better trades. I understand it. But let me look at this. I understand what you mean by utilities. Why don't you buy a strong stock on a dip instead of shorting a strong stock on a rally? Here's the AEP. AEP is arguably the lead utility. There is no way. Listen, it does have a flag, but you know what? There's no way I would short that. Let's look. What are the utilities? XLI, is that it? No, XLU. Utilities, XLU. You know, Lewis, what are you gonna? You know what? I think if you're going to take a chance and contra the market, which that would be a contra market, or no, it would be a rotational, try another sexy sector. At least if you're going to try, get paid on it. You know what I mean? Utility is just a slow death if you're going to get dragged into that. With Citibank. I mean, look at Citibank, JP Morgan. Now, how do you feel about this? The market's freaking flying, and you got JP Morgan, you got Citibank. Everybody all weekend was telling us to tell me, it was saying Bank of America. Bank of America was going to bet the breakout, but now they don't want it. So, Sarah, I hope I answered your question on Mara, Bitcoin, and Riot. All gap up today. They did. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some profit taking later on in a Monday afternoon because they've had a nice run. But certainly, as I said before, and I'll say it again, and even my man Gerard said it, you know what? Coin looks good now. I like, coin, I would dip my toe in. It's a Kathy stock. It's got a lot of negative pressure because Kathy's, but you, like I said, you look at the other ones, you look at Mara. And you know what might be another one I haven't looked at? A lot of these guys are giving me this SI, Silvergate Cap. I've looked at a chart. This is the one. Sarah, this is the one to buy, SI at 154. Buy it on the buy SI on dips. That's the one. I like SI. I like coin. And if you're going to buy one of the, the miners, if you will, let Mara rest a little bit. It has the move in it. It's in between moving average. It's right between like this box, if you will. So play it within the range. You know what I mean? Play within the range. And here's Bitcoin, BTC. You know what? Maybe you also want to play the range. Let's even go to weekly on Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Play this range. Play the range here. So that's what. Any other questions? Coach could call on copper. Let's go to the main page. Market's going down. Futures are going up. Market, hold on. Here's my main screen. I'll shoot when it's like when I'm on here and I share my screen. This is what I look at right here. Okay. PayPal, Apple's down, Microsoft hanging in there, the Qs acting well, the VIX is positive somehow. Twitter. You know what I mean? There's the Twitter weekly. Elon Musk says he wants to go out and maybe go and, create another platform. Did I already hear that this morning? Look at that news. So here's Twitter. This is this Twitter. I'm going to buy more. I think this is, I'm not going to say it has a move like Snap. Even Snap calmed down a little bit. You know what? Twitter is a valuable platform. Maybe I'll put my heart over my head. Twitter I use. It's an invaluable asset to me. But I like Twitter here. I own it. GBS, VFF. So let's go back to this before I leave you guys, because like I say, I always want to correlate what I'm doing. So once I get off the video and I look at my main page, like I just showed you, then I go to this. This is tantamount. Sometimes I don't even look at my quotes because I don't want to get distracted by something that I think has volume. I go right here. Let me share. And you can have the same thing too. And I try to post this. I give you several websites for this. Here's my page, my top list. So when I sign off, I'll shut my main page off. I'll get my pad down. And the only thing that I'm interested in is range, volume, and positive price action. And positive price action, meaning this. If the futures or the NASDAQ goes down 0.5% and Apple stays here, or if the futures go down lower and Tesla's hanging here, that's positive price action. The stock is acting more positive than the futures or even the relative financial instrument is acting. So I'll go to this page. I'll look at relative volume leaders. Here's all the volume. So SONO has 13% relative volume. It's up $3 and it has a range. I write it down. Sono, I'm interested, it has volume. Costs. I told you GME was up nicely. Cost is obviously a Wall Street bets. So what else is near the high? Green, AMC, Wall Street bets. GameStop, Wall Street bets. ET, oil, what's low? What's on the low now? Okay, ACAD. I'm long it. I am. NVAX, Winnebago, Caterpillar. You see the SPR goes with Boeing, Morgan Stanley, Nucor. You get the rotation. They're out of miners. John Deere was an animal. They're out of Dick's Sporting. They're out of retailers, and they're out of these. I guess they're out of reopening plays. I guess I know it's stale, but even Winnebago is down. Sigma, LAC. I was short that this morning. AMAT's breaking low. All right, now I also go to this, and I'll end it here. My alert page of what's really moving. AMC is breaking out on volume, if you could see this. Costs, a turbo breaks up. AMC has extreme volume, so I'm interested. Extreme volume when the market's going lower. AMC near the high. Sarah, Mara's near the low. Coin near the high. GME. So it's coin. That's what they're doing, AMC. So I'll take a look at AMC. I don't want to put back my screen, but I got it. Hold on. I got a lot of stuff operating here. Where's AMC? Change screen. New share. My chart. What's AMC doing right now? Okay, AMC's going bananas. This is what I'm seeing. AMC's 21 to 27. They're obviously taking up the Wall Street bet stocks. There's GME. There's costs. Now this comes to mind. Bed Bath Beyond is one, right? You should know this. Express. The XPR is one. What other ones? Stats. Okay, another one. Run. These are the Wall Street bet stocks. So they're taking tomorrow. I could talk about home builders. I'm gonna have to, Lewis. Let's look at let's look at this. Let's look at the XHB now. And I'm surprised they've gotten this low. Here's the hold on. Let me make sure I share my screen. I'll share them to you now, Lewis. If I'm going over, that's okay. Lennar, best of breed, broke that flag. Toll Brothers, second best of breed. It's holding. KBH, Kramer said the other day, could not understand by anybody, by anything, why KBH was going down. So maybe you want to step your toe in here at KBH. Lewis, I know you, and I'm only saying because it's holding this low with volume. It's got a fit, you're treading on thin ice, but this could be the one, the gauge, KBH. It's still holding the weeklies, but always look at Lennar. Lennar's the best of breed, still holding in there. DR Horton, DRI. No, that's DHI. That's one. Yeah, I would go to Toll Monthly, Toll Brothers. You know what? Listen, Lewis, you're all, you know just as good as me, that's leverage to rates. So you have to be prudent. You have to know what's going on macro in a macro sense. I certainly wouldn't talk anyone about putting a little percentage of their folio here just to be hedged. So you know what? It's either Toll or Lennar. You're probably going to be wrong before you're going to be right because it's, I leave that to the professionals. It's it's kind of like it's more macro than timing there. So I'll leave it at that. So any other questions? Okay. I'll leave you guys at that. It's 11:34. Let's look what's going on in the market. Market's breaking low. Okay. I was down 4,000. Now I'm down 1,000. So let me show you down new share. So now the market is 42.60. What's our level, Lewis? Lewis, what's the level we're looking at today? Right here. There's a chart on the futures going back a week. Okay. 44.90. I think you're welcome, coach. I think 44.90 is our big 44.90 is our level in the sand, isn't it, Lewis? What's our level we talked about today? $45.25 support, Sell to 40, 45, 65 is the number if they get there, guys. That's our big number today. There's the futures. So listen, you know what I mean? As we all know, it's been very tactical within a range. Here's a 3-month range on the futures. It's really been range bound. 44.90, right, Lewis? Yeah, it's 44.90. So that's what we have to look at this pullback, Monday. It's, as I said, I hope they go to 44.90. I'm a buyer. 44.90 and 45.20. That's correct. Let's hold to those. Good job, Lewis. So, you know what I mean? There's some profit taking. And that's fine. I don't think everybody's jumping. I mean, Apple's only down $1 for their lack of production. I think the markets right now, it seems to be taking down my mostly oils and cyclicals. Just have to watch Tesla. Have to watch Square. Have to watch AMD. AMD's down $1. Big deal. Amazon's positive. So I'll leave off there. Lewis, I'm proud of you. And I say that because you and I have a relationship going, the brotherly thing, not to be dramatic sometime here, but I think it really turned the corner. And I hope your clients are doing as well. As again, Coach, thank you. Sarah, I hope you answer your question. Gerard, coin looking okay now. A little bit of a pullback. Hang in there. We'll buy it. I'll let you know when I'm buying it. So thanks for sharing, everyone. It's a Monday afternoon. I'll post some winners later. I want to post more and share more in the afternoons, but I don't want to be a squawk box and just posting things. Yeah, I know the SPX. So yeah, we're short. Some things are coming down nicely for us. We had a little bit of a fade. Path is negative. Nutella, they're going to give a little bit of a give back. So let's watch the AMC and GameStop. Let's see if they're getting on that type of thing. So one more thing I'm going to look at. Blue line near your levels, Mike. I know it is. I know. I don't want to. It's coming in nicely. I don't want to micro. Listen, for anybody here, this is a great site if you don't have one of these active scanners. And I got to put the people at TradeGATEHub again in front of my P&L. This is a 5-second delay. Look at this. Moving down now. It's a 5-second delay. Here you go. These are stocks that are moving in the last 5-minute percentage. OP's moving down. GameStop's moving down. It's a great free site that only has a 5-second delay. Look at this. Up high on relative volume. It's the same thing I had. There's Riot. There's ET I brought up. There's AMC. Stockbeep.com. Great free site for everybody. I got to go get off and take some profits here. Tesla. What did I do here? All right, we're good. We're good. All right, we're going to take off some here at this level, this 45.20. Now we're going to watch 44.90, Lewis, right? So everybody, let's tune in. Let's post about that. See? So I got to get it going. Have a plan. Thanks for tuning in. Coach and I will be back at tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern. It's our best one of the week. It's putting our two heads together on a macro and a trading view. Nice trade. Thank you. And it's also quite entertaining to a degree. I got to get going. Okay. Cheers, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you.